Welcome back to International Scale Modeler. I'm Lee. Today we're going to do another review from Freedom Model Kits. This is the F-20B stroke N Tigershark in 1/48 flavour. Now, as you know, Freedom Model Kits are one of these new manufacturers on the block, and I have to say we are trying to see if we can sort out a deal with them to get them onto UMP Retail Ultimate Modelling products as well, as we have with Town Model, but we're working on that at the moment. But they have sent me a couple of kits for review, and this is one of them. Now this is a what if project. It also has some real versions in there as well, but this, obviously the Sundowners version, as you can see, is actually fantastic. That's the box art. Really nice box art. I like that. Really, it's just a lot of thing with blue clouds and sky and things like that. It does look good, and I love the paint scheme on that. It looks fantastic with the Sundowners on the tailplane there. What else is on the box? We've got obviously a made up model, so you can see it without any paint on, decal sheet, a little sprue of photo etch parts, and apart from that there's not a lot else. Obviously paint schemes and things like that here, but nice sturdy box, really sturdy box, which I really do like. So I think let's have a look inside. Oh, quite a bit of plastic there. This is 1/48 scale, but I think it'll be a lot like the F-16, which is not a massive plane in 1/48, but we shall see. Okay, so we're going to start with, let's have a look. We'll have a look in this bag. Now, not each sprue is individually wrapped, I have to say, but in most of them there's this one which is 2 large sprues in one bag, and the rest are in separate bags. So I think, let's have a look here. Okay, so we've got 2 sprues here, so I'm going to start with the main fuselage one first of all. As you can see, it's not a bad size sprue. First impressions, literally straight away, I look at the engraving and the panel lines and the rivet detail. I think absolutely spot on. They look really nice, and they kind of jump out of you as well. And I'm not saying that because they're out of scale or anything like that. I'm saying that because you can actually see the quality in that as well. Now it also has up here raised rivet detail as well, which is a bit of a bummer right near the join. So you're thinking to yourself, right, I hope that join's really good, because that's going to make a massive difference. But on here, it's got the tailplane, the fuselage halves. You then got obviously the part of the exhaust, fan, tailplanes. Let's see what else we've got there. And I think these are wheel well covers. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. I'm trying to see where they would go, but never mind. Okay, so let's get you in so you can have a look at this panel lining and rivet detail. And as you can see, straight away, you can see that it pops at you. Okay, there, really nice indeed. As you can see, all the way around, some great contouring there as well. Nice, clean and crisp lines, really nice indeed. We've got a tiny bit of flash up here, but apart from that, there's no burr or anything. There's no flash anywhere else. It just seems to be this part on both sides there. I'm pretty sure that's not meant to be there. But apart from that, really nice quality in the tailplane as well, as you can see. Fantastic rivet detail and engraving and everything. And then you've got the inside of the exhaust as well, which has got this textured surface, which is really a nice little touch. Okay, a lot of companies don't go to town on the inside of the exhaust, but they do look really good. And you've got some air brakes here, so it looks like you can have those open or closed by the looks of things, I would imagine. Or they're wheel well covers, one of the two. Although I would say those are probably more the wheel well covers. These ones here, and in here. Okay, but we shall have a look when we get into the details on those. But first impressions of the first sprue, absolutely gorgeous, I have to say. So the second sprue, which was in the same bag, we then got the underside of the fuselage, and as you can see, you've got those panels, those flappy bits do sit in here and here. And again, on there we've got some pylons, some leading edges, it's a control surface there by the looks of it. Lots of body work, and we've got the pylons for the outer wings, the exhaust nozzle, again, which actually isn't too bad at all, you know, it's not bad at all. Nose cone, which just needs, it's got a little bit of work that needs doing on the front of it, but let's get you in on these again. As with the front, the engraving and everything is absolutely spot on. Really nice. There's a lot of, as you can see, there's a lot of, it's a very busy underside there. There's a lot going on. So that's going to look really well washed up with it's going to be a surface with a wash on it and everything. So we're going to pour those out, make that a little bit dirty. But as you can see from the nozzle, not bad condition at all. Again, there's some detail on the inside, which is nice, which does make a difference. And you've got the nose cone there. Now, just on the nozzle of the nose cone, you can see there's a little bit where it's come out of the mould, and that just needs a tiny little sanding, which actually is quite a nice, easy shape to sand that. So not going to be a problem there. We've got some leading edges on there. There's a little bit of flash on the edges of the wings here, but nothing you can't scrape off with a scalpel, as you can see there, just a tiny bit. The legs, you then got looks like the front leg here. Very nice indeed. Doesn't seem to be any flash. Loads of ejector pin holes and things like that, so you can just take them off in a quick thing with the sander, and Bob's your uncle. But very nice looking kit so far. As I say, there is a bit of burr here and there and a little bit of flash, but it seems to be that's the type of flash that really isn't going to, you can look at it and go, wow, that's not going to take a lot. It's just going to be a little scrape with a scalpel blade and you're done, sort of thing. We then go on to the next sprue. This one again, we've got Fuselage Halves. This is the front end, the business end. As you can see here, where it's a twin cockpit, there's a massive cockpit on that. Where this is a trainer one, this is the adversary version, so you can have the trainer seats in there. Now again, I'm looking at this, some fantastic detail on the front of this nose and everything. When you look at this, when it's built up, it's actually going to be a fair old size. It's a good, what, 9 inches long? Okay, so it's going to be a fair old size when it's done, especially with the nose on, maybe a little bit larger. But on here, the ejector seat looks really well detailed for plastic, and you've got the seat itself is nice. You've got control pedals. This is a lot of cockpit interior in here, which I'll zoom in on in a minute. The instrument panels look absolutely beautiful, I have to say. And you've got what looks like a ladder here as well. Okay, so let's get you in so you can have a look at the tub and everything. Okay, so there you can see the tub. Some nice detail down the side, some nice raised detail here, as you can see, just from that there. Okay. The nose itself, the engraving on the nose and everything, very nice. You can see it's really big. It's going to be a massive cockpit. And then you've got the control surfaces, instrument panels. See if I can get you in a little tighter on those. Okay, some lovely detail in there to pick out. Really nice. Really nice. Not soft moulded whatsoever. They're really good moulding on that. And you've got the seat itself with some texture. And then you've got the tub. As you can see with those raised surfaces and everything, it's going to be nice picking out with a demarcation wash, like a concrete wash or something like that. We'll pick that out very well. And then you've got the side of the ejector seat. As you can see, really well moulded. There's a nice level of detail on that. Again, you're going to be able to pick those out and everything. You've got some work here. I think these are part of the legs. I'm not 100% sure. But again, it'll be one of those that we can have a look at when we go in. But there's some fantastic detail in that. I have to say, I'm really impressed with that. There's a lot of work gone into that. And again, you've got these rounded pipes and parts here. Now these usually have some burr around and things like that, but these are burr free completely, 100%. So really nice indeed. Again, I like that. I do like. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking I mean, it's very hard to say yes, this is going to fit together really well. You just get an impression. What things I like is things like these, but the locating pins are tiny, teeny tiny. A lot of kits have these big old locating pins, and there's nothing you can do with them. These, if you've got a problem, if they're still a little bit sloppy when you're putting it together and it doesn't line up right, you can either cut the locating pins off altogether, which is what I do tend to do most of the time, or you can just drill out the locating holes a little bit more. Just a 1 size higher drill, a 0.1 size higher drill, and it just gives you the flexibility you need just to move that fuselage forward a bit. In fact, most of the time, I'd probably, if you were going to leave the lookout pins in, is drill it out anyway. That way you know you're safe before you put it together. You've then got another large sprue. Okay, this is the last of the large ones. It's quite a bit of plastic really. Again, you've got more ejector seats here. Obviously it's a twin seater, so very nice indeed. Nothing more I can say about those, we've seen those. We've got some greewalls, some odds and sods. We've actually got the wing detail here. Again, fantastic riveting and everything on there. Another ladder, so we've got both ladders for both seats. We've got another nose cone there, which is, as you can see, it's a bit snapped off. But it isn't damaged at all. In fact, that one hasn't got the nonsense on the end. The wheels are one piece. I like one piece wheels, love one piece wheels. That's a favourite for me. I do like those. But again, let's just get you into look at the panel lines and the engraving, the marks and everything. As you can see, really, really nice. Very nice indeed. Gotta like that. Also on here, you've obviously got the drop tanks as well. They're in good nick. Again, they've got raised detail, very nice raised detail and moulded detail as well, and quite a large drop tank, I have to say. So really nice. Again, another nice sprue. You've then got the legs here as well. Even the legs have got some nice detail on. I'm really impressed with that so far. I think this is only their Freedom Model Kit's third kit, I believe. They did another iteration of the F-20. And then they've got this one as well, and then they've released the Aquitaine, which I've already done a review of, which either will be up or is up already, which is a ship, which is a bit of a diversion from what they've done so far. We've then got a little bag with several little sprues in, and on here we have looks like a bomb or a drop tank. Ooh. And that's a mirror, no, it's not a mirror sprue. Well, it is, it's a mirrored sprue plus a little extra bit on the end here. That's a funky looking thing, isn't it? And you've got some pylons again. The pylons have got some nice detail on as well, some very small, nice detail, I have to say. And you've got the aims as well. Again, very good detail, and they're nearly one piece. Again, you've just got to slot a part of the wing on, the rear tail fin on there, and some little on the front as well. So really nice. They're going to be easy to build up, and they'll be quite nice once they're together as well. And you've got two little sprues here of grommets. These are rubber grommets, and I'm trying to think what these would be for. Oh, well, there's something to look forward to inside the details. But yes, so very nice indeed. Now we're going to come on to the cockpit now. Now, as you've seen, the cockpit on this is going to be massive. So these clear, it's very important, these clear parts, how they're going to look, because you're going to see everything in this cockpit. Now, it's not often I'll recommend aftermarket, but the size of this glass that you can see and the size of that cockpit, it might be worth seeing if you can get an aftermarket set for this. It might be an Eduard or a Zoom set around at the moment. I don't know. It hasn't been out that long, so is that there's a lot on show there, that's for sure. So I'm just going to have a quick look at the glass, and I have to say it's very nice and clear, very clean, crystal clean, clear edges, and it really is a nice bit of glass. There's a slight scuff mark on the top there, but I don't think that's going to worry anyone if you've got one of our ultimate buffers, which is perfect for these cockpits and everything. This one here. Okay, if you haven't got one of these, you need to. It's got a 3000 grit and a 12,000 grit on there, and that will get rid of that, buff that up, absolutely brand new. But as you can see, really nice glass. What I do like about it, it's quite in scale as well. It doesn't seem to be too thick or too thin. It's a little bit flexible, which is lovely. You've got the lights on there as well. It looks like part of the instrument panel or heads-up display there. But there's three pieces to this. So it's a big old cockpit. Now you can have them open or closed. I did see that on the edge of the box, that you can have this cockpit open or closed and everything. I have mine always closed up and everything. But as you can see, there's no lensing there or anything at all. Look, really, there's a little bit there, just a little bit. But apart from that, a really nice piece of glass. Very nice indeed. I like that. And a large cockpit area, I have to say. You have to gonna have to make that cockpit look nice, because it's going to be on display, that's for sure. Right, okay, decals, decals and decals, whatever you want to call them. Let's have a look. Right, well actually, first of all, what we'll do is we'll do the fact we've just got this little fret of photo etch here. and it looks like that's going to be part of the, well, I'm not sure what these do. There's probably trim somewhere inside the cockpit, I think. And these, it looks like these are the canopy holders. If the canopy was open, I've got to say that does look like that, or something that fits inside the canopy for sure. These could be mirrors, so you could see either side. So very nice little fret though. Always nice to get little goodies. Right, so decals. Let's just zoom this out a bit so you can see you. Okay, so decals. Really, really nice decals. Now you can see here they seem to be all in register, and they're actually very matte decals, very, very matte, and really nice feel. I have to say, the carrier film is cut close to the graphic itself as well, which is very nice. I love this sundown as well. I think that looks good on anything. But as you can see here, let me just have a look. I just want to see the writing, make sure we can read it. Right, some of the writing here is not really well under a 5x diascopic mic, so you're not going to be able to see everything, but very nice indeed. Now you can see here, what you can see, I'll zoom you in a bit, is you have decals for the two instrument panels and cockpits and everything. Now I'm not a fan of decals on aircraft, especially with large cockpits like this, unless they're going to be closed up and you can't hardly see it. But this, what it does do, it gives you a good painting guide to do the cockpit and everything. Sorry, my dog's just come in and disrupted me. But it gives you an idea of how you should paint the instrument panels and everything, which is good. It's a good reference guide. So, but really to get that nice, you'd have to flatten down the cockpit detail and everything, but don't put it over the detail, because it never looks right in my eyes. So that's up to you. It's entirely up to you how you do that, because that's a preference of opinion. Me, I think I'd paint that and then put a concrete wash over just to demark it and everything. But it's nice to have that option on there, so if someone's not confident painting the cockpit, they can just flatten it down, pop that on, and Bob's your uncle, and away you go. But some nice decals. I've got to say, they're very well printed. It'd be interesting to see how they lay down, I've got to say. I think they look like they're going to go down okay, but we shall see. You don't know until you actually do these things, do you? That is the problem. Okay, so next, last two things, we've got this. Love this, as you can see, massive thing. This is A4 triple gatefold piece of paper. It's got all the colour schemes on there. The paint call-outs, as you can see from the overhead here, are again Mr. Hobby Colour, which is their, it seems to be the ones that Freedom Model Kits are going for, which is their cellulose-based paint. Personally, I'd rather have the Aqueous range on there, or a choice of both, because not all the numbers match up all the time. So you have to do your homework on that a bit. But as you can see, you've got the US Navy Adversary VF45 here in these colours, and then you've got the Sundowners version, which is a what if for sure. And then you've got another Air Force, Rock Air Force Adversary, and the Air Force Aggressor. Some lovely funky paint schemes there. I'm not 100% sure if they're all what ifs. I know the Sundowners definitely is. They didn't have a Sundowners in this. I don't know if these are what ifs or if they did actually have aggressor versions of these. So it would be interesting to find out for sure. But on here it just tells you where all the stencil data is. Luckily there's not a ton of stencils at all, which is, I like that. I like that from the earlier jets and things like that, because there aren't a lot of stencils on them. But as you can see, the size of this cockpit on here is going to be absolutely enormous, but a funky looking plane. Really is a nice shape. I think if we were going to go aftermarket on this, looking at this, I would probably go aftermarket on the cockpit interior and the exhaust nozzle. I think those are the only two things that need to go aftermarket, and those two things could really make this pop. But it's a very nice kit for sure. I'm really enjoying looking at this. So looking good so far. Okay, one last thing, instruction manual. Again, this is another gatefold thing. I'm not a fan of these, I've got to say, but that's massive, as you can see. But let's see if we can go from start to finish on this. Front page is no write-up about the Tigershark itself, just odds and sods, cautions and stuff. You've then got a key to tell you what everything means. Sprue mat, unnumbered. You've got polycaps here, which is interesting. I want to see what those are for, I have to say. Paint call-outs, again, Mr. Colour only. And then it's got how to build up the ejector seats, pop them in the tub. Obviously that's a nice compact tub, I do like that, nice and easy build that. And then you've got the forward fuselage assembly, pop the cockpit in, the heads up, all that sort of thing. Okay, nose, build that all up. So the whole section, the nose section, is built up in one piece. Then you've got the engine assembly. They're inside there, the intakes, part of the intakes, those things that I couldn't understand. Drill to install pylons, which I'll be doing this fully loaded, I have to say. If I'm going to, when I do birds, I like to do them fully loaded. See, now the grommets there actually fit inside for the pylons. So maybe it's a case that once you've drilled a hole, the pylons are snap fit, so you can take them off and put them on again. Which, if that is the case, is a fantastic idea. I do like that. But that is definitely grommets. That's where the grommets go. Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. That would be nice to see once it's built up. See how that works. You then got the main fuselage goes together as all one piece with the wings and the tail planes and everything, and the flaperons and the leading edges and all that lot goes together. And then we skip over again, finishing this off, just putting the wing end pylons on, and then we pop the two together. So there's two whole kits you build in there basically. And what I do like about this, wheels last. Oh, it's nice to know that a lot of model companies are putting these together. And it's nice that you've got little reference photos there, though you can't really see them because they're black and white, but it's a nice little touch. And it's saying here, please note placement location, so obviously quite an important thing. You then go over to more gear assembly and things like that, putting it in. And you've got the wheel covers, and then you've got aerials, antennas, hook, all sorts of things, deflectors, air brakes. Yeah, so you can have the cool. Lots of little odds and sods and things to do. So, and then you got the PE. I was right with the PE. It's the frame for the canopy. That goes in, and again you can have the canopies open or closed. I will have mine closed. I tend to do that. But then if you have them closed, you can't use the ladders which are here. So those are only good if you have them open. And then obviously it's to put all the fuel tanks and the armament up, and you've got the loadout there, which is nice. Always nice to see a nice loadout. And then you've got the pylons. Now obviously these pylons is right, they should just snap together. Or pop on. So it'll be interesting. It really is interesting. I'm waiting to see that. So I really wanted to see that. Here we've got the F-5G F-20 development map. And you've got here what they were effective against by the looks of it, what they were made for against. And then you've got the what if here, which is the F-20B twin seater. So maybe they all are. Single seater Tigershark was a real, obviously it was in service. It got beaten by the F-16, I think. Yeah, so then it just tells you how to do the decals, and that is that. Okay, so instructions are nice and easy to understand. I think I'm really interested to see those grommet things. I think that might mean it's a friction fit pylons and everything like that. But again, that's the second kit I've reviewed from Freedom Model, and I have to say that's another thumbs up from me. Very nice kit indeed. Great subject, and I've got to say I love that box art. It's absolutely fantastic with the sundowners on. Anything with the sundowners on is good. It just makes it makes the model pop. So for me, there's not any real bad points. A little bit of flash here and there. I think apart from that, if you're a model builder, you're not going to worry about things like that. I don't think it's not going to be too hard to work around. Apart from that, the decals look good, a little bit of P in there, you know, the panels and the engraving absolutely spot on. So it's definitely a thumbs up from me, and I would say that's a good 8.5 out of 10 from me, which is a rare privilege. But very nice kit, well done Freedom Models, nice presentation with everything again as per usual with all these new manufacturers again. So that's all from me, until next time, take care, bye bye.